All right, we're going to begin since today is Friday, and here's our 10th person. 11th? Congratulations. No, you have the 10th, sorry. All right. We'll try again. This is a meeting of the City Council on Friday, February 4th. I'm Councilmember Ruth Galanter, President Pro Tem of the Council. The meeting is available on Channel 35 and will be rebroadcast this evening and again on Sunday. And we are also available by council phone, and that's all I can think of at the moment. We're going to begin with some presentations, and Mr. Pacheco is first.
Good morning, Madam President and colleagues. Get this microphone worked up right. It's not
It's Friday, it's tired.
Friday, it's tired. Okay, there we go. I wanted to present to you today some young individuals and their coaches who have been participating in the Police Activities Leagues. And what's really unique about this presentation is that this is the first time that I believe that two Police Activity Leagues have worked together, the Hollenbach Division and the Southwest Division. So what I want to present to you is the winning teams from both their divisions. First, we want to bring up those from Southwest. So let's bring up the kids. We have Paul Jimenez. Is Paul here? I want to congratulate you. And
Why don't you bring them all up so we can
Bring
see
them
them
all
all
up.
on
All up
television,
top.
and you'll get your certificates
come.
one at a time.
come on up. This is for their winning their championship in their age group. What age group were you? 9 to 12? Right? The 9 to 12 age group in the Flag Football League. So this is for Paul Jimenez. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Albert Wesso? Is that right? Albert?
Thank you.
There you go. Congratulations. Raymond Ramirez? Artist Dyer? Artist? He's not here? Okay. Edwin Koo. Edwin, here you go. Congratulations. Juan Hernandez? Is Juan Hernandez here? Okay. Alice Anderson. That's you, Alice. Congratulations. Jonathan Lowry. There you go, Jonathan. Kevin Jimenez. Is that you, Kevin? Okay. Okay, we need one for Isaiah. Is Officer Gary Beecher here? Gary? Okay. Do we have Isaiah's in the back? Let me see. How about the officers, though? Officer Wang? James Wang? How do I say your last name? Wang, okay. Officer Patricia Luevanos? We also want to give one to Isaiah Green, one of the football players also. It's for you. Congratulations, Isaiah. Officer Patrick Hassel. Okay. And of course, we want to congratulate the whole team and the whole league, the Southwest Police Activity Leagues, for being the champions of their division. Now for the Hollenbach division, the second group, they won their division. All the kids come up. What age group are they? What age group are you? 14? 12 to 14? This is the 12 to 14 division. Hollenbach PAL won this division, the flag football competition. Art Murillo. Congratulations, Art. There you go. Carlos Salazar. There you go, Carlos. Congratulations. Brian Padron. Congratulations, Brian. Melvin Ventura. Congratulations. Christian Espinal. Congratulations, Christian. Fernando Robles. Okay. Juan Garcia. Congratulations. And what's your Luis? Okay, we need to get one for Luis Espinal. Congratulations to Luis. Officer Villaseñor, Sergio. Do we miss Luis Espinal? Hector Payan, the coach. And of course, come all together. All of you, the coach and Officer Villaseñor, stand here next. We want to congratulate the Hollenbach Police Activities League and the team for winning their division in the flag football competition. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. Pacheco. The chair, let's first call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Burnson, Chick, Fuhr, Galanter, Goldberg, Hernandez, Holden, Miskowski, Pacheco, Padilla, Ridley, Thomas, Warner, Truex, Walters, Ferraro, 12 members present and a quorum, Madam President.
Hallelujah. All right. Chair recognizes Ms. Miskowski for a presentation.
Thank you, Madam President. Today is one of those days when we bring forward a longtime city employee who many of us have worked with behind the scenes. We are here to recognize, in his retirement, Phil Kayanoa, who is the Assistant Deputy Superintendent of Building and Safety. And after 34 years of service, he's decided to enjoy his life a little bit and retire. Phil is a unique person in that although he's been with Building and Safety for the last significant number of years, he actually started with the Department of Public Works as an engineer. He began his city career in 1965 as a civil engineering assistant and promoted through the ranks, and then actually joined the Department of Building and Safety as a structural engineering associate, where he continued to promote and to promote based on both his good work and that he was doing for the citizens. He has contributed his knowledge diligently on behalf of council offices, citizens, and people who just come to counter and need help. And as many of you know, particularly in the Building and Safety Department, the higher one rises, the more complicated the problems one gets to deal with. And I have worked personally with Phil on solving some very, very complicated problems with constituents in dealing with enforcement of codes, structural issues, grading issues, and the like. And so I, for one, know that he is going to be very significantly missed around City Hall. He also has this incredible nature of being very calm, very methodical, very thorough, and conveys a lot of confidence both to someone asking some questions and to the community who's looking for the answers. So it was with a great we're going to be very happy for him in his retirement, but a great deal of sadness that we are losing the level of his expertise, the level of his experience and knowledge, and the way he is able to convey it and help us solve problems. So, Phil, I know that there are others here from the Department of Building and Safety who are looking to honor you, but also with a great deal of sadness to see you leave. So, on behalf of the City Council, congratulations and thank you very much.
I can tell that Andrew wants to say something before we let our
I just,
retiree.
on behalf of the Department of Building and Safety Management and employees, I want to congratulate and thank Phil for 34 years of service to the department, and congratulate him and Diane and his family, and wish them a long and a happy and prosperous retirement. It is great that the city of LA has retirement benefits that we can see people retire. It is wonderful, and I wish you well, Phil. Thank you for a job well done.
Okay, now it's your turn, Phil.
Okay, thank you.
This is your chance.
Right, this one last shot here. Thank you, Councilmember Miskowski and the City Council. I would like to thank you for your expression of appreciation for my years of service to the City of Los Angeles. With me today is my wife, Diane, who used to work for us, former member of the city, and my daughter, Karina, my son, Kyle. I would like to thank you and your staff, friends, and fellow employees from city departments and other offices. I'll just mention a few, such as the City Attorney's Office, CAO, CLA, Planning, Public Works, Housing, CDD, CRA, DOT, LAPD, the Fire Department, and so on. I have many memorable experiences and made many friends during my career with the city. I will forever be grateful for the many opportunities the city provided, both personally and professionally. Thank you, and best wishes.
Don't leave yet. Mr. Holden wants to say something.
What a wonderful speech of thanks. I mean, 34 years and you still have your sanity. I mean, I've been here only 12, and they, I got to go out for treatments. That's what they'll do to you around here. But I must tell you, to be in building and safety for that length of time, where you have to say no to people over and over again. I mean, you can't say yes all the time because this place would look like a sham around here. The city would not be properly constructed with any codes that we would be adhering to. But the fact is, 34 years, you don't say just no to the people who want to develop, but you have to say no to council persons who want to offer support for additional development in the area. And when it's not when it should not be authorized, we have to count on people like you to say no, it should not, and not cave into the pressure, which you have not. And you leaving here with your integrity and with your best wishes and bright future in your career. In fact, go out and get another job. You look good and you're young and you're healthy. We should not be losing you, but we are, and that's not so good for us. But thank you for all you've done for the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Mr. Burnson.
Yeah,
Still don't leave.
I just want to say how much we appreciate the service you've given to our community and to the city. And I know my staff have spoken very highly of the way you responded to our requests and so forth. So I want to thank you, wish you the very best in your retirement.
I think we all
thank you.
want to wish you the best.
Thank you.
Have a great time. And thank you for your service. Maybe we should have the fan club stand up. Did you bring that whole fan club? All right, the chair recognizes Mr. Hernandez.
Madam Chair, members of the council, I also have a recognition to make to a city employee who basically is no longer going to be with us, but is going to continue the kind of work he's been doing for the city of Los Angeles. It's basically my honor to recognize today Mr. Gene Jackson, who just retired from his position as Deputy Director of Human Resources and Asset Management Operation for CDD. January 14th was the day. That's correct. January 14th was the day Gene Jackson reached 25 years of service to the city of Los Angeles. And you need to understand that he came to city government in 1975 basically from a community-based organization that was working on economic development. And that community-based organization was the Watts Labor Community Action Committee. And he's gone a full circle, because at this time he is going back to work with the Watts Labor Community Action Committee under Terry Watkins, the daughter of his mentor Ted Watkins. We know him more recently because he was the one who created the Earthquake Recovery Centers, was also in charge of homeless coordination, and implemented 5 comprehensive community centers under the Housing Authority. He's received many outstanding service awards, including Outstanding Young Man of America. Is your wife Vera here? No, okay. Vera's not here, as well as 3 children, but you need to know he also has a couple grandchildren. And Gene, this resolution is not only signed by myself and Councilmember Goldberg, but as well as Councilmember Ferraro, and I think all my colleagues want to wish you a happy away from the city period, but also recognize the fact that you'll continue to work in the area of human resource development, that you'll continue to work in the community, and that's a heck of a way to retire. But that's the kind of person you are. So therefore be it resolved that the City Council commends Mr. Jackson for his outstanding dedication and service to the Los Angeles citizens and wishes him a happy retirement.
Madam Chairman, members of the council, Mr. Hernandez.
Maybe you should wait just a minute. Mr. Savornich wants to try to get a word in edgewise before we let you go after us. Go ahead.
I think I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't stand to congratulate Mr. Jackson also. There has been some wonderful work done across this city, and of particular note in the 15th District because of this man's dedication. Just a brief story is that there was a building that had fallen into disrepair on Century Boulevard in Watts, and we turned it into a youth center named after Mayor Bradley. And one of the things, after Mayor Bradley had suffered his stroke prior to passing away, it was the first time that he was out in public and he came to the dedication of this facility. And it was because of this man's hard work and others that we were able to get that facility up, operating, working well. And I'm so glad that he is going to be enjoying retirement, but not fully, because of going to pursue other endeavors with another wonderful organization in the community, and I would like to congratulate him and personally thank him, because the work that we were able to do was absolutely terrific, and I congratulate you. You're a great guy. Thank you.
Hold on, one more, Mr. Fewer.
Thank you, Madam President. Gene, I just want to say, remember back when I first took office and we were trying to deal with the aftermath of the earthquake, and that was, I think, a very good example of your best efforts to move as quickly as possible to cut through red tape and actually get service into a community that was very much in need. And I was really impressed then, as you know. My staff really worked very closely with you. And I think it's indicative of the style you brought to your work for so long, and all of us really appreciate it. My point was really to say that the residents in my district, in that particular example, were the ultimate beneficiaries, and they'll never know who you are. But without you, they wouldn't have been able to recover from the earthquake. And that's a big deal. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now, Gloria.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that on behalf of the Community Development Department, that Gene has been a tremendous asset to the city. He is the person, as you've heard, who we've had to put out front when we've had new programs and new kinds of things to implement through the homeless program, the earthquake centers, and very recently he was a tremendous asset in the Human Services RFP. So I'd like to acknowledge Gene's staff who are here to congratulate him today, if they would stand. Okay. And they're here all in support, and we want to say that we will greatly miss Gene. He's a wonderful person, and we've grown up professionally together. We're going to miss a wonderful friend. Thank you.
Why are we letting him go?
His choice.
All right, Gene, now it's your turn.
I'll try it again. Madam Chairman, members of the council, Mr. Hernandez.
I got
Gloria-
another one. Hold
You got
on.
another
Ridley
one?
Thomas came in here. Snuck
Oh.
in when I wasn't looking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Got Ridley Thomas on? Try again.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and to the PA system operator, thank you very much as well. Appreciate your attentiveness. I rise simply to congratulate you and to extend you our very best. It's only after long service that some of us learn about the multifaceted careers of some of the city employees. It was only when having a chance to stand in for Mrs. Savornich when a presentation was to be made to one of the ranking military officers in our community who had made his way to the top of the ladder, that I learned that Gene also had a rather stellar career and dedicated to his country. And so we take this opportunity to thank you for not only that, but for your years of service to the city of Los Angeles and the various constituents who comprise this city, and on their behalf, and particularly those of the 8th District, we are indeed grateful and extend to you our deepest gratitude and best wishes for your endeavors in the future. Thank you.
All right, I think we've delayed your retirement as long as possible. Now you can have the microphone. If anybody else wants to speak, we'll make them shut up. Go ahead.
Let's try it one more time. Madam President, members of the council, Mr. Hernandez, Mrs. Clark, members of my staff, Terrell Watkins, who came with me today. I appreciate this. Believe me, this is a glorious send-off for me. I'd like to say that for the past 25 years, I have thoroughly enjoyed my career with the City of Los Angeles. Prior to that, I worked 10 years for the Watts Labor Community Action Committee. And through the efforts of Mr. Watkins, because I was a high school kickout, he encouraged me to go back and get my high school diploma. He encouraged me to go to college to get my degree. And I'm going full circle now. I know he's probably smiling in his grave. He was like a father to me. And I'm just thrilled to go back and take everything that I've learned here in the city and share it with the community. And once again, I want to thank all of you for presenting me with this award and honoring me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chair, oh, no, you have another one,
I
right?
have another
Yeah.
thing. And Madam Chair, being that we have some CDD employees here, Gloria Clark and so forth, as I was standing next to Gene, I just kept on reminding myself that we as a council put a tremendous amount of demands on that department. They basically deal with the human service delivery system of the city. They also had to deal with the realities of an earthquake and civil unrest, and they continue to function on many different kinds of demands, and I think they do it in an excellent manner. And losing someone like Gene is going to be something that's not made up overnight, because his experience came from the community, and again, we're going to have to make sure that we can function to the best of our abilities in his absence. And again, congratulations, Gene. It's my honor again to make another presentation to some champions. And I'd like Mr. Everardo Silva to please come up. And the young people who are standing behind me are from a school that's gotten a lot of attention recently, I believe for the wrong reasons, and that's Belmont High School. I want people to know that Belmont High School in the center of the inner city basically has generated champions. And what is standing behind me are some representatives from Belmont High School's cross-country team. And their cross-country team in 1999 was not only the city champs, but they were ranked, the boys' team was ranked #1 in the state of California as a cross-country team. You also need to know that their season ended in December, and because of other reasons, we weren't able to get them here. But when we started looking at the state champion team, we found a history that we thought had not been presented to the council, and I thought it was important we do that.
Can we get your honorees to cluster
Over here.
around you? I can't see you on television. You might
You
as
guys
well.
want to be on TV because that's going to be shown twice.
You got to hang on his shoulders, and you'll be on television. But not if you're way behind him.
Okay.
ahead.
These young people and their coach are part of a very special legacy at Belmont High School. You see, since 1981, and I said 1981, 19 years, the Belmont Cross Country team has won 16 boys varsity championships and 4 girl varsity championships. The 16 championships in 19 years for the boys varsity and the total of 20 championships in 19 years basically is the legacy we're talking about. You need to know that Coach Everardo Silva of the boys varsity has won 5 straight boys varsity championships. I said 5 straight. And the girls have been city champion runner-ups for the last 2 years. Coach Silva trains with these young people every day. At the state level, the team finished 3rd in 1997, 4th in 1998, and again, they were ranked #1 in 1999. We're here to recognize some champions. They're from the city of Los Angeles. They're from basically one of the schools that a lot of people would expect them to be from. They're from Belmont High School, and I think they're very proud of that. One young man who I can't recognize, I asked the coach where he's at, and the coach said he's in class, is Humberto Vargas, who's a senior and the team co-captain, and he basically won as the individual city champion. And so with that, I'd like to present a certificate of congratulations to Belmont High School, to the boys and girls varsity, on winning the 1999 cross-country citywide championship as well as the state championship, and I will present to Everardo Silva.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the council and Mr. Hernandez for their recognition, simply because a lot of the times people hear and say, well, what in the world is cross-country? What do you do there? And that is one of the reasons why these young men and women get very little recognition, because cross-country is not a sport such as football or baseball where you have an audience watching them. Cross-country basically is a sport where you run 3 miles, and you run 3 miles on courses, dirt trails, and you basically see them going off, and you see them again 15 or 20 minutes later finishing the race or sweaty, and you're wondering, well, where did they go? Well, they were winning the race. And that's why this sport gets very little recognition. However, I'm very happy that you took the time and you took this opportunity to recognize the students. At the same time, I would like to recognize these students, or I would like you to take this opportunity to recognize the students, not simply because of their athletic ability, but also because of their academic performance. These students need at least a 2.0 or C average to be eligible to participate in sports. I am happy to say that the group that I have behind me exceeds that limit by far. I would say that the average grade level that I have here with me is a B average or 3.0. I have students here with me that have not missed one day of school since they were in the 9th grade. So that gives you an indication of the commitment and the perseverance and the hard effort that they put into the athletics, but also into their classes. So I think that is, by all means, something to be recognized. Again, thank you very much.
Congratulations to all of you.
And we have individual certificates that we'll be presenting to them in the back.
Okay.
Again, thank you, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. The chair recognizes Mr. Burnson for a presentation.
Could I ask the group from Sierra Canyon to come up here? I'd like Mick Horowitz, Susan Strumpf, and Jim Gregory to be right up here, and all the students who are being honored to stand behind them. Good morning. How are you? Hi, how you doing? Good. Good. Who's the coach? You're the coach, okay. Who's the teacher?
I'm the teacher.
Your teacher and the coach. What about Jim Gregory? Because
Gregory's not here.
he's not here, okay. Okay, members of the council, it's my distinct pleasure today to be able to honor an outstanding school in the 12th district, and that's the Sierra Canyon School. For the second consecutive year, Sierra Canyon Middle School's mock trial team has won the junior division of the countywide competition sponsored by the Constitutional Rights Foundation. The first place finish was announced following the 5th round of trial segments held at Los Angeles County Courthouse before presiding judges of the district. Faculty coach Susan Strumpf, who is here today and was honored with a special honorable mention for the Helen Bernstein Tribute Award for Outstanding Mock Trial Teacher Sponsor. Mrs. Strumpf, a practicing attorney prior to becoming a full-time teacher, and she saw the error of her ways and reformed, guided these young lawyers during the preparation phase and throughout the contest in an elective course entitled Criminal Justice II. I'm not going to present each one of them there. I will do that in back for the interest of the council schedule, but I want to read off the names of the people who are being honored. The winning award team members are prosecution attorneys Rajpal Breyer, Jeff Kiak, and Kevin Perkins. Prosecution witnesses Erica Deitch, David Garfinkel, Kevin Klein, Chelsea Norell. Defense attorneys Jeff Bernstein, Ashim Kopra, and Michael Larner. Defense witnesses Matt Chon, Pasquale De Maria, and Laura Vig. Defendants John Choi. How'd you get to be the defendant, John? You must have gotten trouble. Bailiff Robin Strumpf, and clerk of the court Danielle Salars. Honorable mention awards were also given to team members for Outstanding Prosecution Attorney Jeff Keok, Outstanding Defense Attorney Josh Bernstein, Outstanding Defense Attorney Michael Larner, Outstanding Prosecution Witness Erica Deitch, and Outstanding Defense Laura Vig. The month-long tournament requires student teams to prepare both sides of pre-selected trial and assume either the prosecution or the defense role during each elimination round. The team is prepared to argue either side of a case against any of the more than 24 teams from throughout the Los Angeles County who participate in this rigorous event, now in its 22nd year. And I personally have been involved, not necessarily with this school, but other schools in my district on some of the events. And it's really quite a procedure. And if you ever have an opportunity, members of the council, you really see some very bright young people in action. So I'm going to I'm going to present. I'm not going to show you which one I'm going to present because it's going to take too much time. I'm going to present it to the teacher, Ms. Strumpf. The certificate, this is really Jim Gregory's, but we won't talk about that. I've got yours in here in the pile. And we'll present them in back. But I want to congratulate them and honor them for their achievement, and also again comment on how fortunate we are in our district to have an outstanding school like Sierra Canyon. I want to introduce Mick, who is Mick Horowitz, who is one of the directors and owners of the school. Mick, and again, thank you all very much, and we'll take pictures in back. Thank you. Oh yeah, you want to say something? Okay, good.
I'd like to thank Councilman Bernson and the entire City Council for taking the time to honor this extraordinary group of young people. I'm fortunate to work at Sierra Canyon, and I've had the wholehearted backing of the administration, founding directors Mick Horowitz and Howard Wang, since we began our criminal justice program. I'd like to recognize also Jim Gregory, a criminal defense attorney, who has volunteered countless hours and, in fact, weekends to mentor these students and share his expertise. Most important, though, are the young men and women standing behind me. It was a privilege to work with them. They showed dedication, intelligence, teamwork, sportsmanship. They learned the value of hard work, and with young people like this, I'm very confident about our future. Councilman Bernson, City Council, thank you again.
Follow me.
Thank you, Mr. Bernson. The chair recognizes Council President Pro Tem Ruth Galanter.
Thank you, Mr. Are we on? Thank you, Mr. President. It's not often that we take time in this meeting to honor people who regulate us, but I am taking this opportunity today in recognition of the 50 years of work of the Regional Water Quality Board. It's sort of mind-boggling, isn't it? The Regional Water Quality Board held its first meeting in 1950. I think half the people on this council weren't born in 1950. Some of us were, though, and can really feel it. This is the board that oversees not only us, but in our city, it oversees the city's wastewater treatment facilities, which includes Los Angeles Glendale, the Tillman plant in the Valley, the Hyperion treatment plant in my district, the Terminal Island treatment plant in Mr. Savornich's district. They oversee extensive groundwater cleanup in two of the country's largest Superfund sites. They work hard. Since 1989, they've performed more than 6,000 inspections and 800 individual cleanup efforts. And they were part of assisting us in our consent decree, and I've even forgotten what year that was, we finished in 1998. The consent decree that started the city on our city on our major cleanup efforts and construction program at the Hyperion plant, which has resulted in a significant improvement in the condition of Santa Monica Bay. And of course, at the time the city we started kicking and screaming, we came out of that pretty quickly, I am proud to say. And our relations with the board have been collegial, collaborative, all those really good multi-syllable words. But I think it's important to note that they've been doing this. This board has been at work for 50 years, and that the contributions they've made to our environment are really impossible to measure. I hate to think what it would have been like around here if we had not had the oversight of the Regional Water Board. And so, and life is not easy for them. You'll remember that a week or two ago, we were debating in council the question of our city's position with respect to some new standards coming out of the board. And one of the things we were told was that many of the cities in the county have objected to these standards. I'm very proud of the fact that the city of Los Angeles is certainly the largest, but one of several that took the position that we ought to be doing everything humanly possible to clean up our water. And we want to add to that position by today saluting the Regional Water Quality Control Board, recognizing their efforts, thanking them for their help, and promising that they have to be nice to us in the future. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you today Fran Diamond, who is a member of the board and has been involved in environmental organizations since long before she became a member of this board, and Dennis Dickerson, the executive officer, whom I believe a number of us heard from the other day, and to present to them from the entire City Council of Los Angeles a resolution congratulating the board for their hard work and their major contributions to the environment. Fran and David, here you are. Step this way.
I would just like to say that your support of the urban runoff proposal that we passed unanimously last week was very important. As Ruth already said, there was a lot of opposition from most of the cities in this region. And having not only the Coastal Commission, but the US EPA and a letter from this city council asking not only for the proposal, but for a stronger proposal, allowed us to pass the proposal and to pass it as strong as we possibly could. So we're going to have a tough plan to get rid of urban runoff in the future, and I think we can all be proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you. We've rendered him speechless. Thank you, Mr. President. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Galanter. Are there any other council members that have presentations or introductions this morning? Okay, seeing none, we will proceed with the agenda. Madam Clerk?
Approval of the minutes,
Without objection, that'll be the order.
commendatory resolutions for approval.
Without objection, that too will be the order.
The city attorney has advised that item number 34, closed session, item can be continued to Tuesday, February 8th.
Without objection, that'll be the order also.
Next item, Mr. President, items noticed for public hearing, items 1 through 3.
Okay. We have items 1 through 3 before us. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on either items 1, 2, or 3? I have no speaker cards up here. Okay. Okay, since we have no speaker cards at this time, we will continue the hearing and the ordinances until the 5th, February 25th. That's 3 weeks. Okay, without objection, that'll be the order. Next items.
Items for which public hearings have been held, items 4 through 20. 20 has 2 reports on the file and several amending motions.
A public hearing has been held on these items. I have no speakers cards on these. Are there any specials on items number 4 through 20, colleagues? 9 special by Mr. Holden. Any other specials, colleagues? Is there any council colleagues that would like to speak on any items number 4 through 20? Okay, seeing 20 is also special.
Yeah, was 4 called special, Mr. President?
4 has been called special by Mr. Holden. Mr. Hernandez? Any other specials, colleagues? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you open the roll on items 4 through 20 with the exception of 9 and 20? And tabulate the vote. 4. And 4 also. And tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Those items are approved. Any forthwiths, colleagues? 10 forthwith? Okay. Next items.
Next item, Mr. President, items for which public hearings have not been held, items 21 through 33.
Okay, I have no speakers cards. 21, 22, or 23. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on items 21, 22, or 23? 33, excuse me. Any specials, colleagues? Seeing no one wanting to speak on any of those items, Madam Clerk, would you open up the roll and tabulate the vote?
13 ayes.
Those items are approved. Ms. Walters is recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask my colleagues if we could reconsider item number 12 for purposes of changing my vote on the issue and expressing opposition to exempt civil service positions.
Without objection, colleagues, item number 12 is reconsidered and now before us. The chair recognizes Councilwoman Walters.
Thank you. Colleagues, I have stood here before and objected to the plethora of exempt civil service positions that are coming forward. Now, the new general manager, Recreation and Parks, has come and explained clearly her plan and why she is doing this. But, and I did not, lay down any hard and fast rules that I wouldn't support her. What I have said to her and others is that I have real concern about exempting people from civil service rules, and we can see through what is happening with Mr. Fujioka some of the folly of exempting folks from civil service. And I know that some of this is charter permitted, but I just wanted to register an objection one more time.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on item number 12 is back before us as a reconsideration? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you open up the roll again on item number 12? Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
Thank you very much. We now have item number 4 before us.
All right, item 4 is before us. We ready to open the roll?
It was called special.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. All right. Mr. Hernandez.
Madam Chair, members of council, is there staff here for item number 4? Because this is basically a proposal that's asking that there be an analysis of revenue generated by area, geographic area. And as I was reading the report, and I'm glad Mr. Deaton is here and Mr. Fujioka's here, as I was reading the report, they were looking at zip codes, you were also looking at planning areas. I wanted to, one, put my input into that dialogue, because whatever we do, we end up using an analysis by census tract. Our GIS system is set up by census tract. Our census information comes in by census tract. Our reapportionment information is by census tract. And I think that the analysis should be by census tract. What kind of revenue is generated by census tract?
So you want it by census tract?
Right, because well, what I think that does is it allows us to look at the information in a variety of ways.
Yes, I agree with you.
But it coincides more with our planning processes.
Absolutely.
And so I didn't read that in the report. And so I just thought I'd bring that out. I also think that in looking at the revenue generated, I know the next question is going to be is expenditures. And what we want to be able to look at is how it is that economic engines for the city and the region are separated from this analysis. And when I say that is, it'd be easy to say that the area around LAX generates a lot of money. The reality is it's a regional facility. And it would have an impact on the immediate census tract, but I happen to know that there's some census tracts close to LAX that are poverty census tracts. And so the fact that you have that economic engine hasn't necessarily impacted those census tracts. And why that happens, the same thing would happen to the harbor and other areas. I just wanted to kind of bring that into the dialogue of the discussion. So I think if we look at it by census tracts, it'll help that analysis to be more accurate.
We concur. Okay. I agree with that.
Was there something specific you wanted from them, or just the fact that they both agreed that?
Yeah. Well, no, we will do it by census tract.
We will do it by census tract.
Okay. Mr. Holden.
Why are we doing this? I mean, for those communities that are considering separating from the city, aren't we paying LAFSCO money to do this?
Well, I think that exactly our contribution and the nature of that contribution will be discussion next week. But to an extent they are doing that. However, I believe that the intent of this report is twofold. One is that we should be doing this anyway. We should have the information about where the revenues are being produced and what the trends are in different parts of the city, et cetera. And I think that from a perspective of a city and looking at the situation is good. Secondly, if LAFCO does do this, and in that context, city staff should have the information itself, so it is in a position to be constructive in the discussion.
That's the only reason why you should do it, if you were just to make a comparison and be constructive. But you start doing this on a regular basis citywide, then one community will say, look what we've done and we're not getting our services. Here the record will show this record. Right now there's no record.
But as
and I would say that if it's going to be one city, you can't turn one community against another saying we're paying more, we should get more. Then just fractionate the whole city, break it up now, because this is what this is going to lead to. This is what it'll lead to. This is not very bright move on the part of the managers of the city's affairs to do this at all. You might say, in my area, we pay our share. In some areas, they don't have much money, but they've been neglected in the past. They paid their taxes, they build up other communities that are not successful, and they'll never get their fair share. And people will be thumbing their nose at them saying, you're not paying today, but they paid yesterday. Come on. This is not very good. Separate and unequal. It's the approach. That's what it's going to look like. I'm going to vote against it. Let LAFCO do it. And they're doing it for the whole city, not for communities. It's not the way to go, my friend.
Well, let me just remind you that what's on the agenda is a recommendation from the Budget and a report from the Budget and Finance Committee directing this. All right. Anybody else? In that case, open the roll on item 4, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
That is approved. Next item.
Item number 9, called special by Councilmember Holden.
Mr. Holden, press the speaker button and you're on. Mr. Holden, press the speaker button and we're on item 9, which is yours.
Well, can I have a report on this? I didn't have...
Yes, you can.
It was not listed initially.
Yes, you may. We will have... Is there somebody here to report on this?
You just got this now?
Go ahead.
Good morning, President, members of the council. I'm Jesse Waros, General Manager, Information Technology Agency, and I'll give you a brief report on item 9 regarding the pre-approved contract listing. Information Technology Agency has a comprehensive project management program which includes 3 areas: IT project management methodology, project management training and professional development, and project management services contracts. It's the third area, the services contracts, that this item is all about. That service contract is put into play to help provide the city with an expeditious mechanism to search and hire qualified project managers or project management services, which includes competitive pricing. A thorough process was undertaken with respect to an RFP. 23 vendors applied to the RFP process, and that those vendors were evaluated by way of a committee which included staff from the CAO as well as ITA. And of the 23 that applied, 14 contracts, which are listed in your package, were accepted.
And as I understand it, nothing obligates us to use all the services. It's just that we have a contract so we can call on them if we need them.
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Holden.
Yeah. Until a minute ago, I didn't know who these 26 contractors were or are. In fact, all I see is a list of 14. Is it 26 or is it 14?
14.
14, all right. You see some coming out of New York? Right? I mean, why can't we just stick with the locals? Number one. Number two, what about, you know, I got to go back to the old affirmative action stuff again. Was any consideration given in that regard?
Absolutely, Councilmember. There's an RFP process that was undertaken, and all firms from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world for that matter, were able to apply to that RFP process. They did apply. They went through a vigorous evaluation, and they had to meet a number of criteria, which includes the minority business, maybe weeby DB criteria.
Okay, on my
et cetera.
time, how long have you been general manager?
5 months.
5 months. Well, the city council adopted a policy a long time ago to give preferential treatment to locals. And you're saying they can apply from around the world. Obviously, you're not familiar with that ordinance.
No, I'm familiar with that ordinance. It's and that's part of the
Maybe that's what you
criteria.
didn't should say. Need nobody to apply if you don't live in L.A. City or L.A. County area. I mean, why would you still circulate this? Because we have qualified, talented people.
They only
here.
get priority, they don't get exclusive rights.
Well, we can do what we want to do in that regard. They keep
I
their
guess
money
we
in New
can.
York. You don't find people going back there to help them out. It's our money. It's not that significantly different. I'm not talking about a lot of money. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at it until now for the first time because I just got this information. But I'm going to take your word that these people are who they are, and but you can still come talk to my staff after we approve this.
Thank you, Mr. Holden. Anybody else? Open the roll on item 9, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Thank you, that is approved. Next item.
Item number 20, called special.
Item number 20, we have 2 reports on file, so we need a motion. And we also have 2 amending motions.
I want to move Budget and Finance, and when they are raised, I'll be receptive to the amendments.
They should be on the desk in front of you. They've both
Right.
come around. Okay. Mrs. Chick.
Yes, colleagues, not only is there a consensus amongst the chair of ITGS, the vice chair, and the chair of Budget and Finance, but what is before you is at the present, non-cost proposal that is looking at 2 very important ways to expand the city's outreach to the people who live and work in Los Angeles. One talks about, and that one is the one that I have put forward, talks about what's known as streaming video, and having ITA develop a plan, developing a plan they're already in progress of working on, and come up with total cost to broadcast, literally broadcast our council meetings over the internet. Certainly, we know that there are people who don't have access to cable TV and perhaps have a computer or simply find this a more convenient way to tune in, as well as already being able to access the city's webpage and council agendas. I will let my colleague, Councilmember Padilla, discuss his motion, which puts forth another important tool and makes sure that we are addressing the need for access and information in the city with those households that do not have computers and internet access. So I ask for your unanimous vote and look forward to ITA coming back to us with a very good plan for both of these modes of communication, hopefully a reasonable cost, and then our finding the political will in the upcoming budget to fund it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Padilla. That was 20A you were speaking of. Okay, Mr. Padilla.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues. Just disconnected my microphone. And I'd like to speak to item 20B in agreement and in support of what Councilmember Chick has mentioned. The spirit and the intent of both of these motions, of both of these methodologies is the same. Anything that we can do to increase civic participation, we should be doing. allowing our council proceedings to be webcast is one opportunity. Stemming from a situation in Councilmember Savornich's district, we've also been working towards making our council proceedings available over television and broadcasting them. The department and the CAO recently reported to the committee with a great idea to pursue, and that is looking at buying airtime on Channel 58, the same station that currently broadcasts LAUSD proceedings and the County Board of Supervisor proceedings. Both for the webcasting and for the television time, we've gotten some very rough figures, at least at this point, of $120,000 annually, $180,000 annually, respectively, which isn't a huge amount of money. It seems very reasonable. So what we're in agreement with the budget chair of is let's move forward with the ideas and the plans. Let's put forth budget requests to consider next year's fiscal budget and see if we can't move with both of them. So, colleagues, we ask for your support.
And that's 20B, right? Yes. Okay, just so we're all up to date here. Mr. Ridley Thomas.
Madam President, members of the council, it seems to me that if we are to secure our position as a 21st century city, that which is before us becomes rather essential, if not fundamental. I simply rise to urge our adoption simply because this is not groundbreaking technology at this point. There are those who have already begun to implement webcasting, and to the extent that that is the case, it simply puts us in the loop of those who are on the cutting edge of making information available, but not only that, but maximizing that information. So it's with those brief remarks in mind that I rise to support the motion before us and suggest that we do this and more in order to ensure greater citizen knowledge and participation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Holden.
Madam Chair, just last week I put a motion in with a moving clause that the Information Technology Agency be instructed to report within 2 weeks on the steps needed to implement live and videotape coverage of all city council meetings on free local television station, which the public can access without having to pay for cable subscription. And I sent that around to all the members of the council. I'm glad to see today that at least in 20B, that concept has been implemented as an approach that we should take. I had no knowledge that Mr. Savornich and others had already proposed to look at this earlier on, but I'm glad that they did, and it's before us today. When my matter comes up, we can just receive and file. But I will say this, it was Jackie Callaway that I talked to just last week who says, I had a falling out with my cable TV company, and I can't watch city council on TV. I can watch the school board, she said. I can watch the board of supervisors, she said. I can watch the state, federal government. I can't watch the city council. And it's true, you know, because I watched them also. So it seemed to me at least that there are a lot of people in this city who don't have internet, don't have computers. A lot of our older citizens were not trained in that discipline. So it's something that we really ought to do, and we ought to do it now. It's too bad we didn't think about it early on. And Mr. President, members, I urge that we sure go along with 20A, but if we do 20B and all that is included in it, then of course 20A would be covered. So I would support wholeheartedly 20B and plan to vote for it. The 30-day is a long time. Mr. Padilla, 30 days, the mayor is currently putting together his budget. And 30 days from now gives us into March. We have to find out whether or not it would be too late or would not be given the same consideration if you wait 30 days, maybe 2 weeks.
Well, Councilmember Holden, the webcasting portion of it has already been submitted to the mayor's office as a
understand.
budget request for the next fiscal year.
That's fine.
But we just 2 days ago in committee began the dialogue on the broadcasting element too. So both are currently underway. This motion simply brings them together because even though they're different technologies, the spirit and the intent of what we're trying to accomplish is the same.
I understand all that, but the fact of the matter is then, will you have him amend his proposed budget to include monies for this?
Yes.
Well, if he agrees to
If
do
he
it.
agrees, so that's what I'm saying.
Well, I
So
think
we-
you agree
Well, but
with
I'm
each
saying,
other.
what
Your
is the
time's
cutoff,
up.
what is the cutoff date is my question. Do you
Now.
know that?
The cutoff date for?
For the mayor to accept information from the members of the council, which he is seeking.
Right. Well, we've already planted it with him, so we haven't missed it. That's what I'm trying to
You
say.
plan to meet with him?
No,
we've
he's already done
planted
it.
the seed. I have met with the mayor already.
Yeah, but this is a new concept here.
Well, a new
Added to-
concept on paper here in front of us, but not a concept in my head.
All right.
The answer to your question is he's already talked to the mayor about it. All right, Mrs. Walters is up next.
Thank you, Mrs. President. I'm glad this issue has been raised because the Media One television company in the same area where I believe the councilman from the 10th District raised the questions of a constituent. They were formerly broadcasting C-SPAN 1 and C-SPAN 2. And they claim to have surveyed their constituents, and C-SPAN 2 was no longer desired. They put some soap or something else in place of C-SPAN 2. There's a lot of valuable programming on both C-SPAN 1 and C-SPAN 2, and I would urge that they be urged to continue full broadcasting of C-SPAN 1 and C-SPAN 2. That's full broadcasting, weekends, full days, 24 hours of the stations. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Savornich.
Thank you, Madam President. You know, this is nice to see this coming forward. One of the things to which I have been concerned is that the City Council is only available to those that subscribe to cable TV. And while this is a step in the right direction also, that also brings the availability of the City Council via the Internet, I think we need to proceed in great haste to making sure that we can enter into some type of contract with KLCS Channel 58, because it is my understanding that once we're able to go on Channel 58, that people that either live in the city or not in the city can watch the TV, to which Mr. Holden, then we got you covered too.
Okay. Well, on that happy note, open the roll. Now, wait, we have two amendments before us. Is there any objection to 20B? In which case, we'll deem it adopted. Is there any objection to 20A? In which case, we'll deem that adopted. Now, open the roll on 20 as amended, Budget and Finance Report of 20 as amended by 20A and 20B. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Forthwith.
Madam President,
next
do you
item.
wish to receive and file the
The other
TDS?
report, yes. Okay, the next item.
Next item is Special 1, motion brought in by Councilmember Padilla, and the city attorney will explain the need to make the findings.
Ms. Weingart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On December 31st, 1999, at approximately 4:52 in the morning, North Hollywood patrol officers responded to calls. What they found was a 24-year-old man who had been shot several times and killed. The police department has asked for the reward because there has been no leads, and they feel that there is somebody out in the community who would have heard the gunshots, and therefore the council would need to make the findings that the need to act arose after the posting of the agenda and that there's an immediate need to act.
Okay, open the roll on the findings. Close the roll.
13 ayes.
Those are adopted. Mr. Padilla?
Yes, thank you, Madam
Push the
President.
speaker thing. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I just want to add that the police department is in concurrence that this reward should be helpful in bringing forth information that can bring resolution to this matter.
Well, let's hope so. All right, open the roll on Special 1, close the roll, tabulate
13
the vote.
ayes.
Forthwith on that as well. Next item.
Next item, this is the time for comments from the public on non-agenda items.
All right, we have one person who wishes to speak, Lee Marks.
I am Lee Marks, and I'm here because I am trying to find justice. When I spoke with Mayor Reardon when he was on his radio program once a month, he told me that my problems are very urgent and they need urgent help. And so far, I haven't gotten any help. I have made hundreds of calls. I have all my documents. And it seems it's impossible to find justice. Last year, I did get help from David Strasberg, Mike Lee, and especially Commissioner Martinez. And Martinez told them last year they were violating my rights. And when they yelled at me, he said I should be the one yelling at them. I have all my documents. I was charged for lot cleaning when the lot was not even mine. Last year, I was charged $1,350 for a lot that wasn't mine. It took months and months till I got the money back. And I'm being most severely violated. And there's no use asking for help because there's no help to be gotten. Sonia has called them many times. Sonia from Councilman Padilla's office, they wouldn't return her call. Mr. Catran has called many times. Mr. Gibson has called many times. They seem to make their own laws at lot cleaning, where even a lawyer doesn't make his own laws. And I've been most severely violated. I'm a senior citizen. I have better things to do. But I have a right to fight for justice because at this time I have more time because I am a senior citizen. I have one more complaint that the council should be aware of, which HUD Secretary Como is aware of, and he said he wouldn't accept, his office said they wouldn't accept what they did to me. Well, what they did to me is my son owns lots 5 and lot 6, and someone from community redevelopment who got lots 3 and lots 4, which was a conflict of interest because he works for HUD. And then he wasn't satisfied with 3 and 4. He also took 5 and 6, which 5 and 6 belongs to my son. Then 5 and 6 was quit-claimed to his partner, and they got got title insurance from Chicago Title, and Chicago Title has an office with HUD, and Chicago Title was fined $235,000 from Department of Insurance for giving kickbacks. And finally, they did do another quitclaim deed and give my son back his property, but a quitclaim deed is an illegal transaction. That's not the right transaction, and HUD will not accept the quitclaim deed because it's illegal to quitclaim what they don't own, and then to say that my son, for good consideration, they gave him the property. They didn't give him the property. He owned the property. He has nothing to do with them. He never gave them consideration. He doesn't own them, and they have no right to say for good consideration they gave him the property. It's his property. And yesterday, I spoke with Pamela French. She's with Coldwell Banker, and she asked me if I'm Rochelle Lucas. I said, no. I said, why'd you ask me if I'm Rochelle Lucas? She said, well, that's the person who owns the property, so I assume you're her. I said, no. And I said, if you will notice, Bill Price, he gave a quitclaim deed to Rochelle Lucas, and when I said Bill Price, she said, that's the same person who's trying to take away her property in San Pedro. And it couldn't be a mistake because my son's property has one parcel number, and if he wanted to quitclaim 3 and 4, it would be with 2 parcel numbers instead of 1. And the quitclaim deed they gave is an illegal transaction, and they must give him back his property with proper documents because he can't get insurance, because they won't accept a quitclaim deed. I was advised by Old Republic, I called them a few weeks ago to try to get insurance. They wouldn't give it because Rochelle Lucas gave a quitclaim deed, which is an improper transaction, and they will not accept it to give title insurance. My main problem today is where they charged me over $800 to clean a lot when at that time it wasn't my son's lot. And what I desperately need, and I have letters that I've sent them, is I must have every document available regarding that problem. They won't give me the documents. They send one document, was totally ridiculous, because with due process of law, they have to do what's right. It's not a total dictatorship, which they make their own laws. I most respectfully request all the documents that I have a right to, and I have a right to review them, have a right to give them to an attorney, have a right to show it to ACLU, whomever I please, and have time to do that. I called the lot cleaning department and told them I'll be here, and there's one man here, which cost the city lots of money. I called the commissioners, told them that I will be here today. I will also be there Monday at their meeting, and then again Tuesday. And I'm telling them I'll be there because I will. I've notified the complete media as much as I could, because I desperately want justice, and we're being damaged and destroyed by collusion and corruption, and that's not fair. I'm here seeking justice, so please help me. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. We're going to see what we can find out for you here. And also find out what the mayor did after he told you you needed help, since he is the mayor.
And he said
Thank you.
it's urgent.
All right, that closes the public comment period. And I believe, what else do we have on the desk?
Motions for posting and referral.
So ordered.
You have an excuse on the desk. Councilmember Bernstein requests to be excused the third Friday of each month. City business meets council policy except for February 18th, which needs a motion.
Mr. Wax moves. And those are approved.
The desk is clear.
All right, Ms. Mizikowski for an announcement.
There has been a motion that has been introduced that I would just like to announce that we're requesting the chief to be directed to present an interim report to the city council next week, and ask the city clerk to agenda the first available agenda.
Now let's just, in case anybody
In
didn't
public.
follow that, we're talking about the police chief.
The police chief, yes.
Yes.
On the
okay.
Rampart investigation.
On the Rampart investigation, so there will be a report presented in public next week. Any other announcements? Do we have any? That's it? Adjourning motions? Do we have anything else on the desk? All right, do we have any adjourning motions?
I think you do.
I think we do. Will everybody please stand for adjourning motion? Mrs. Chick.
Mr. Bernson asked me to adjourn in memory of one of his constituents, Josephine Perlman, who passed away Wednesday, February 2nd, and has been an active member of that community and a member of the synagogue that Mr. Bernson belongs to. In addition, I'd like to ask that we adjourn in memory of a very special woman, Susan Clayman, a nationally known advocate for breast cancer research who died of the disease in San Francisco on January 18th after surviving 14 years past her initial diagnosis. She was 61. She appropriately saw breast cancer as not only a medical problem and issue, but also a political one. And she helped to draft and win passage of the California's Breast Cancer Act, which provides funding for research, breast cancer research, with a 2-cent cigarette tax. She then went on to head the program's advisory council and to start a campaign to get the State Department of Health Services to grant income tax deductions for breast cancer donations. She, in addition, co-founded San Francisco's Breast Cancer Action Advocacy, and is survived by a daughter, Deborah, a son, Michael, 2 grandsons, and I think we all owe her a debt of gratitude for
All
her work.
members.
All members on that. Mr. Holden.
Madam President, members, we ask that we adjourn in memory of John Frederick Cannon. Mr. Cannon served the city of Los Angeles for 36 years until his retirement in 1981 as Superintendent of Public Works. He also served as president of several Los Angeles organizations, including the St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran Church, the Kiwanis Club of West Los Angeles, Chapter 200, and the LACSSA Union. He was also a Boy Scout counselor and continued even after his retirement to support our young people and advise them and counsel them. He's survived by his wife of 54 years, Melba, 5 brothers, 3 sisters, 1 son, host of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We also have Florice Mildred Fuller. She was a longtime resident of the 10th District. She attended Dorset High School, where she met and married aspiring jazz drummer Lonnie Fuller, if you heard of him. And the two were married for 35 years. Florice found her niche in the aerospace industry and had a long career as a chief inspectress and technical procedures coordinator at the Parker Hannaford Corporation. She was most proud of being a grandmother and a great-grandmother. She leaves her mother, Frankie Buckner, husband Lonnie Fuller, 4 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. And Madam President, members, it's sad to learn just the other day, Vanessa Forrester. I think she had the same problem that Ms. Chick just mentioned, was a resident of the Fremont Place. Her husband, Biff Forrester, the president of the Fremont Place Homeowners Association. She passed away after a long battle with cancer, and she survived by her husband, Biff.
Thank you. Mr. Pacheco.
Madam President, members of the council, I ask that we adjourn today in memory of Mary J. Coda, who passed away on January 28th of this year from complications of pneumonia. Mary fought courageously for 11 weeks at Glendale Memorial Hospital with her family by her side. Mary was married to Robert Coda. Both, this was their second marriage after their spouses passed away 33 years ago. They raised Patty, Ronald, Carol, Cindy, and Glenn. Mary was an active member of my district. As a loving wife, she was also dedicated herself to many of the community organizations such as the Eagle Rock Chamber of Commerce, the Eagle Rock Kiwanis Club, the Eagle Rock Boosters Club, the American Legion, and St. Dominic's Church. If someone was ever in need of a ride, Mary was always there. If someone needed an appointment, Mary would take them and pick them up. A gentle lady who was always there for everyone, had a smile and a kind word for anyone she met. She will always be remembered.
Mr. Padilla.
Thank you, Madam President. Ask that we adjourn in memory of Luis Gonzalez III, who's a 33-year-old decorated Marine. He was fatally shot this last Sunday in front of a Van Nuys dance club. He was awaiting an honorable discharge from the Marines and was looking forward to coming home and spending his life raising his 5 children. He had numerous honors and decorations from the Marines and will receive, as deserved, a Marine burial.
Mr. Wax.
I'd like the council to adjourn in the memory of Rose Unger. She was a longtime member of the Jewish community, a Holocaust survivor who taught Jewish studies at Yavne for many, many years, the mother of Leonard Unger, who many of us know.
Yeah, I'd like to
I'd
join
like
on
to
that.
give the clerk the pertinent information.
Thank you.
Kathy and Leonard Unger.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
regarding Miss Vanessa Forrester, Ferrara did represent Fremont Place at one time. I'd like to add his name to the list.
Okay, I think we're done. Call the roll, Madam Clerk. Thank you. The council is adjourned.